Hello and welcome back to Brentford Fan TV. I'm Ben.
And I'm Freddie, and this is our post-match review of the Chelsea home draw. And so, initial thoughts, obviously, I'm not over the moon with the draw because I think a win sort of kept us in that European race or hunt. But you know what, at the end of the day, we all watched us in League One in the Championship, and we've come so far sometimes, I feel, and I'm like, sometimes I need to settle for a draw. What do you reckon?
Yeah, and at the very least, this point meant we're mathematically mathematically safe.
Yeah.
So we can't go down. Not that it would have happened anyway, but
Exactly.
still, we're in the Premier League another season, and yeah, I thought I wasn't really too disappointed with the draw, but I also thought we could have done more.
Yeah.
We could have got more out of that.
I mean, yeah, we'll look at it more in depth, but on the balance of the game, I thought we were the better team. We definitely had the better chances, and I thought we should have won. And so going into the first half, it was a pretty even half, but I thought we were a bit better than Chelsea, and we obviously had the best chance in that the Damsgaard one. It's great play. The pass from Wiss is brilliant. It was Damsgaard-esque, and then Damsgaard, good first touch. He just missed the ball on the shot on the second touch,
and he sort of just gets over the ball rather than being behind it.
Yeah, and so
it doesn't help at all with a shot because you just have to. Yeah,
bit unfortunate for Damsgaard, but you know what? It is what it is. I thought we were a bit better than Chelsea going in at half time.
Yeah.
I remember I went down into the concourse at half time to see what the scores were on the Sky channel, and then I saw Fulham 3-1 up, and that ruined my mood a bit. But anyway,
it's what it is.
Not much else really to say in the first half, I thought.
No, other than Chelsea had a few good shots, but it seemed like all they were doing that game was relying on moments from individuals rather than playing fluent football as a team.
Or even like the odd set piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to be honest, going into the second half, Chelsea were a bit better than us, I thought. They dominated until maybe the late 70th minute or like the 80th minute. But then when we had our chances, they came really quickly and they were good chances. There was that counter-attack where Burmo probably could have scored the Wisser header, and then the biggest one of all was the Vandenberg header that he headed into the ground and it bounced over the crossbar, which I don't know how he's managed it, but that's probably the best chance of the game in my opinion.
Yeah, if he'd got a better hit on it and not headed it down as much, that definitely would have gone in, hopefully. Yeah. If the keeper hadn't saved it, of course.
I don't think it was even. Was it safe? I don't remember.
No, the keeper didn't save it, but I think if the header was more on, if it was a better header, the keeper might have got to it, but you never know now.
Yeah, sort of. That's all there really was to talk, in my opinion, about the game, because not too much happened. I thought we still had the better chances. Chelsea didn't really have any. Flecken was called upon a few times to make a few good saves.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
To be fair, I didn't think Chelsea started with a very strong lineup.
Oh, yeah.
But then in the second half, once they brought on their better players, probably should have been starters. They didn't start with Cucurella, Palmer or Jackson. And then when they came on, they suddenly started playing well. So that just shows.
I mean, you could say it wasn't even bad tactics from Maresca. He didn't start with their best team, but they weren't losing when he brought on the better players. And so, from his point of view, maybe he could be a bit disappointed that they didn't go on to win the game when he did bring the better players on. But then that being said, I thought we were the better team overall. Anyway, talking about individual players from that game, I think it's everyone, including on the day in the stadium, sort of online, everyone's a bit disappointed with Kevin Schade performance. The amount of times he got the ball out on the wing and he was scared to take on the defender, or didn't take on the defender, or when he did, he just sort of got shut down, say, by Gusto. And it wasn't a great performance. What do you think?
No, it wasn't really good. He didn't really have the best of chances, and I feel like at some points that he could have created great chances if he played the ball a bit quicker.
Definitely.
And it looked like, especially in the first half, there were a few chances where he was ready to cross it in or pass it in, but he either couldn't figure out which option was best for him in the time, or just didn't know what to do, and it ended up not going nowhere. Yeah, because he could have passed into Wisser, who would have been in the box, but he left it too late, and then there were no other options.
Yeah, he definitely like you said, sometimes takes way too long in his decision making. Like, it happened 2 games in a row where he's had the option to pass to Wissa from the Newcastle game and the Chelsea game, and Wissa probably could have got a good shot off, and he just made the pass too late. But there's so many times where we know he has the ability, but he just doesn't seem to use it, and he's just sort of lost a chance that could have been created. But then, on the flip side of that, on the other wing, I thought Brian Mbeumo was equally not as good. Because, in my opinion, so many times over the last 2 seasons, when we've needed a goal or something to happen, we get that control of the game, and everything we do goes through the right wing. And because Brian Mbeumo, he can take on players and get a goal. He can get a cross in, and we always overload the back post, whether it's Keenan Potter or Rico Henry, say, on that left back coming up.
Yeah.
Shard on the wing coming central, Wither in the middle. It's bog standard Brentford. Like, we've seen us do it so many times, but we hardly seem to find Mbeumo these days. I think he doesn't have an influence. He hasn't had a good influence on the game against a good team, at least, in about 6 months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And so, for all the criticism Shard is getting, I think Mbeumo deserves just as much for a player who we know is better, but he's performing at such a poor level as well.
Yeah, and I do feel like you were saying earlier, we're not getting the ball to him as much, and when we do get the ball to him, it's too far back to even make an attacking play, or he's being there's too many defenders around him, and he can't do anything.
Last night watching the Arsenal game, Saka gets the ball on the wing far back. The simple thing, simple one-touch pass to Ødegaard, one-touch pass back to Saka, and they're in and goal. And Saka puts a cross in, right? If you think like Saka, Ødegaard, and Burma Damsgaard, we've got the quality there. Yeah. It's just we're not doing the simple things sometimes and getting into the better positions. But yeah, I don't know. Burma Sharda, bit crap right now. I thought Wissa was the best of the 3 in the attack.
Yeah.
He drops deep, he helps with build up. He creates some chances out of nothing. But yeah, the attack wasn't good against Chelsea. As we saw, our best chance came to Vandenberg. Moving on to Yarmo, he started the game. I feel like some people have different views on him. Some people think he's good. Some people think he's not there yet. I think he will become good personally, but what do you reckon on his performance?
I thought overall nothing spectacular. I thought he had a few good things he did here and there. Yeah, he had a solid performance, but it didn't really seem to have much of an impact on the game.
Yeah. I didn't think he played that well. I thought he found Mbeumo a few times quite well, but that's it really. I thought if you're thinking about starting, say, Yarmo over Janelt, I think Janelt's baseline performance, including going forward as well, is better than Yarmo. I think Yarmo's a good player, but he's not starting quality yet. And I know we don't have the most depth in midfield sometimes, but for me, just starting Janelt Jensen over Yarmo is a no-brainer. And like I said, he'll definitely be good one day, but he's not there for me right now.
Yeah, he has a lot of potential to do really well. But I think, considering we have both Jensen and Janelt available, I feel like we got 2 better options there.
Yeah, there was definitely one chance I remember where it was either a corner or a free kick, and the ball bounced up and Yarmo took the touchdown on the edge of the box. And he had the perfect chance to cross it in. We had 1 million people in the box, and he passed it all the way back to Flecken. And there was a big groan around the stadium, and everyone thought, "What are you doing?" And I kind of thought, "What are you doing?" But yeah, I definitely think he'll be good enough one day. But right now, not really starting quality for me. And then also another player we've highlighted from that game, Keenan Potter. I remember after the game thinking he didn't play well at all. But then I went online and I saw people saying Keenan Potter played really well, and giving him good match ratings. What do you think?
Well, I personally think you agree with those people. I think he played really well, both defensively and a bit going forward, because he did put in some vital crosses. The one that led to the best chance of the game with Vandenberg's header. And I feel like, he did play better going forward than Sharda that game, I think.
Yeah, well, everyone did. anyone could have done that. But yeah, I remember maybe it's just my expectations have changed for him, because a few months ago, after a game like that, I probably would have praised him so much and said, what a good defensive performance for a winger. I think I just expect that of him now, because he's done it week in, week out. He's kept so many wingers quiet every week, including top-level wingers like Mo Salah. And so I feel like I've come to expect good defensive performances from him, and now what I need him to bring to us is good attacking performances. And like, he had so many one-on-ones in that game, and I don't think a single one was successful. Maybe once, but it didn't end up in a chance or a shot. And so, for me, I still just want more from him, just going forward, because at the end of the day, he's a winger. That's what he's supposed to be good at. And I think now he's been playing at fullback so much, he's almost like, he gets nervous when he goes forward, or he like feels so much expectation to prove himself as a forward, and not just as a defender. But then he said he did have that cross for Vandenberg's chance that should have been a goal. And so, if Vandenberg scored that, I'd probably be very different in my tone.
Yeah. Also, I do feel like he really deserves another chance to play left wing. And I think the perfect opportunity is coming up with Rico Henry almost being back, ready to start.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a few more weeks, but...
You've reminded me of something I really wanted to say on Sharda and Burmo in that section. We're dying for competition up front. Because, I mean, obviously we've got Nunes, Thiago. Nunes never played a game for us. Thiago's injured.
Yeah.
Again, but, you know, and Burmo, he's not playing well right now. He needs competition. He needs the threat of losing his spot if he doesn't play well. Same with Sharda. If he's not playing well enough, he needs the threat of losing his spot to someone else, whether that's Keno Spotter moving up the pitch and Rico Henry now starting at left back again. But whatever it is, in the summer, we need to get so much more depth going forward and everywhere. I don't care if it means everyone's completely fit and people miss out. We need the depth. We need people to lose their places when they have a bad performance, in my opinion. And yeah, hopefully we can see that if KLP moves onto the wing. Next player I would like to talk about is Mark Flecken. Had a great game, of course.
Yeah, incredible.
Another probably half dozen of saves in a game. You know, first home clean sheet as well, which is surprising it's taken this long. But on Flecken, what I've seen online the other recently is apparently Bayer Leverkusen are looking at buying him. And apparently he's open to leaving in the summer. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I haven't seen these rumours myself, but I don't know. If a big club like Leverkusen could knock you, I'm not surprised he would want to go. But also, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel he's done here.
Yeah, I feel like there's another stage to the story.
Yeah. I feel like he's had 2 seasons. One started off pretty bad, and then this season's his first full season where he's playing really well and making this vital saves. And I feel like we could have conceded a few this game if he hadn't been there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Chelsea made any clear-cut chances, but he did make some good saves from distance shots and headers. But, I mean, he's got 30 more saves than second-place goalkeeper in the league. He's playing well week in, week out. He probably has the highest average football mob rating across the season for all goalkeepers. It's no surprise, like you said, that a top team are interested in him.
Yeah.
And I know goalkeepers have longer careers, but he's in his 30s now, probably 31, 32. I don't blame him for wanting... I wouldn't blame him for saying no. I wouldn't blame him for wanting to go to a top team like Bayer Leverkusen, because next season they'll be in the title race again. They'll be in the Champions League.
Yeah, they will.
Or he could fight for mid-table mediocrity with Brentford.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's a no-brainer.
So, yeah. I don't know. I just hope he stays, I guess.
I hope he stays, but I have no disrespect to him if he leaves.
That would just be another position we need to buy a player in. I mean, you can even see Valdemarson come through to start. And then, final thing I think there really is for me to talk about in this video is our bench. Because I was finally looking at the bench and we had depth on it for once.
Except one area, but we'll come to that.
Yeah, I mean, Rico Henry, Coyote, Jensen back from injury. Pinnock on the bench, thankfully not starting after some poor performances. And we got a clean sheet, may I say.
Yeah.
When he was injured before, we got clean sheets away from home for the first time with Collins and Vandenberg. Now he didn't start, clean sheet at home for the first time this season. And then, the bench, had Jan out on it as well. We had good depth on the bench finally.
Yeah.
But, as we said, there was no attacking players on the bench.
None.
Actually, I take that back. I think it's Ewan Morgan. He's a B team player, been banging in goals all season. He's been on the bench maybe 5 times now. When are we going to give him his chance to start?
Yeah. Or at least bring him on.
I know.
So I've never seen him play.
Sorry. I meant bring him on. But, back him on for Sharda with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It can't get much worse at that point because Sharda's not playing well.
Neither's Mbomo.
Give someone who's young, got that hunger, who's going to just want to nick something in a game.
Yeah.
But I feel like with so many other teams, we see them bring on young players that you've never heard of at the end of games. Why don't we ever do it?
Yeah, we do it. We've done it a bit with Magoma, but...
Well, he's not exactly young anymore. Oh, Magoma. Oh,
yeah.
Magoma. Yeah. We did spend 10 mil on him, though.
Oh, I meant...
Magoma.
Yeah,
Yeah, Magoma. Well, he's 24. He's not even young anymore. He's had his loans. He's had millions of loans in his career. With Magoma, we're almost hoping for him to get to a Premier League level when he's not there. But I don't know. I just want to see us take a risk on a youngster like that.
Because at the minute, I felt recent games I've seen, it's been frustrating seeing our attackers play.
Yeah.
Other than Wissa, who he hasn't done too much, but he hasn't been given the chances as well.
Yeah.
Because he's such a poacher sort of striker, and he hasn't been given that chance.
Yeah, I always have a bit more sympathy for the striker compared to the wingers. Because I feel like strikers need service, wingers create their own chances a lot of the time. But I still think he's been offering more to us as a team than Mbomo and Sharda recently. But I'd love to see just that, Ewan Morgan, come on. Just do something, be given a chance. But yeah, I think all there really is to say for the Chelsea game.
Thank you for watching.